Penn State and Michigan State and obviously Ohio State at the end.
There he goes. They stop him after a 6-yard run out to the 24.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
He'll pull it on the read. Hard running there. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
You go with the option, quarterback keeps it himself, and look, we've seen this guy on tape, guys, break these tackles and take it the distance. This offense should keep dialing up these option plays. Don't let that short gain by the QB prevent you from running this scheme in your playbook.
Across the 40 out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
Every offensive coordinator in the country, they come in the game, they have a script. They have a couple plays they want to go through to get their team settled in, get down and get in good third down situations, execute on third down. Nice start on this opening drive by the offense.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Hayes. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. They might have the defense's head spinning a little bit now. Hit him with a big run, now they hit him with a big pass.
Man, it's so hard to defend both. You know that. Which coverage do I want to put? Do I put more people in the box to stop the run? When you've got this kind of balance on offense, the defense can't be right.
Chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23.
Well, and a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
Motion from the wide receiver. They'll leave it with him. Able to move it ahead a couple of yards. He gets it down to the 20.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not opening up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
That's such a great physical play by the defense because this is one of the bigger, more physical running backs you'll see in the country, and we're used to seeing him push the pile the other direction, not that time. It's the big guys up front on defense getting penetration. And
rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. Now on fourth down, they'll try to come away with 3. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. That is no good. And guys, after the miss, no change on the score. The Wolverines offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And the story is going to be in this one. Will this quarterback be able to operate before that big fella on the defensive front gets right in his grill, Jesse?
And listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He better play with the clock in his head in this one. He's not going to have a lot of time. There were a lot of quarterbacks around.
Oh, he's got some space. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
On the run from inside his, and he loses the ball deep in his own end.
That's a breathing a sigh of relief for sure. Kick returner tries to take it out, puts it on the ground, but how about the offense getting back on it, turning what could have been a really bad play into, thank goodness I got the ball.
What a great play. This guy is a force on this D-line. You think about Michigan football defensively, they've got dudes up front. Aiden Hutchinson, Brandon Graham, Mozzie Smith, Rashawn Gary. Guys that can win one-on-one and guys that change and force your game plan to have to adapt for them. You need to double team these guys if you want to have any chance. This is that type of player. He's got so much ability.
He'll bounce his way ahead for a pickup of 4 out to the 14. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1. The Golden Gophers line up to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Gets his first one of the day away. Might be a little stiff. They only used him twice in that loss a week ago. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Smith takes the handoff. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. To the air. It's Underwood. Dumps it off in the flats. On his feet at the 40. He'll go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. A big play has this offense in business. And they'll line up from the 31 on first down.
And that's why if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
Let's take a minute to talk about Michigan. Every team needs those big dudes up front, and man, they got a mauler from the high school recruiting ranks. Big 4-star D lineman. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Well, you see the excitement from the fan base and the reaction. It's all over the place, and you understand why. Because just being able to have that size at that position, play the defensive line, is so important for these college teams. He'll fit right in.
He wants to change this route. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Finds his man. It's Black. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. They didn't quite get that route run deep enough to pick up the first down. Now they've got a 4th and short.
And I think everybody at home tends to yell at their television set, why aren't you getting past the first down marker? Why did you run your route short? Defense did a good job knowing where that was, but now, 4th down, offense has to make a decision.
That'll be enough for the first down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line.
I know there's a lot of play callers that would try to throw the football there on 4th and 2, but they decided to run it, and that was a great call. First down.
The Wolverines are rolling down the field. Quick release on the RPO. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Dropping back, it's Underwood. Bringing the heat. Caught over the middle. It's Gaines. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Boy, they love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. He'll throw on 3rd down. He caught it, and he will score! Touchdown, Michigan!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. If this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback and wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting box, and they need to get something together with this possession. Catch in the middle, it's Hayes. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Big play out of the gate to start this drive, and here they come again. The give to the back. Can't get him to the ground. Breaks into the open. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Stopped and forced out of bounds at the 21-yard line, just outside the red zone, and they are looking to get one in here. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the first quarter. teams wanted to establish the run, and they have done exactly that in the first quarter. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Just feeds the running back. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling.
And, man, you got to like the swarm of this defense. You've got to get in the backfield, make some penetration, and realize the first guy's not going to always get that big sucker on the ground. Like, he's
looking for the end zone. Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't look the ball in. It'll be fourth down. And they'll send out the field goal unit. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in a sea of noise. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. Now the lead is down to 11. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Buys just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. So here comes the Michigan offense. They've been firing on all cylinders, touchdowns on each of the first two drives, and they'll try to make it 3 for 3. These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34. And the Wolverines in a good spot here with second and short. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks.
Goodness gracious, if you blinked, you missed it. Horrible blocking up front. Defender gets in there so fast.
Did he line up in the backfield? Scanning the field, it's Underwood. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. The Wolverines will line up to punt it away. Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he's stopped. The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. They've been pretty much stifled on offense so far, David, only able to muster 3 points in their previous 3 drives.
And you got to find a way to open this up and create some explosive plays. The passing game is obviously the easiest way. Jesse, put more speed on the field, find those guys down the field.
And you know they're frustrated, too, because they felt like there were some matchups they could take advantage of and get some points on the board early. In this one, they just haven't been able to connect on those opportunities. But I like David's idea. Maybe move some guys around and see if you can create some better one-on-one matchups.
Big noise in the big house for this huge third down play. From the gun, wants to pass. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. Catch and stride inside the 15. Touchdown, Minnesota. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. A rather unproductive series last time, 3 and out, and they'll try to do better this time around. A strike downfield. And that tackle almost certainly saved a touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain. The feel of this whole drive changed on that last big play. They've got it 1st and 10 outside the 30. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down? And the Wolverines looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. They get him on the ground, but not before he rumbles all the way to the 5.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting first downs and staying on the field. And you saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last long coming. Looking downfield, it's Underwood. Going for 6. Touchdown, Wolverine! Quick strike through the air for the score. I don't know exactly what the defensive coverage was, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan to leave him that wide open.
Well, I don't think they know what their defensive coverage was either. How do you leave that big guy open down here in the red zone? You know the quarterback loves the big tight ends in this area. Really poor job by the defense.
This rivalry dates back to 1892, but it was in 1903 that fielding Hurry-Up Yost was worried that Minnesota would contaminate his water supply, hence the start of the Little Brown Jug.
How about that, man? A little tampering back then, you're gonna fix the game, mess with my players, and I think all those things. It's really cool to learn the backdrops, Jesse, of rivalries and how things are named the way they are, and why the hatred usually runs so deep.
And you know what's interesting is a lot of these players on the field right now, they probably don't have any idea of the history and how interesting that is. All they care about is adding another trophy to the trophy case, and they want the Little Brown Jug in that box.
Ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. And the Golden Gophers send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Kicks it high, and it's just hanging there as if it has helium in it and floating down toward the earth. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Making side adjustments here. Wants to throw. It's Underwood. Unloads to the wideout. Connection to the right. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. We talk a lot about Michigan building its offense around the running game, but they've always had an effective quarterback who can make plays down the field.
And I think some people hear effective, Bruce, and take that as an insult, right? Like, I don't want to hear about my quarterback being effective. I want him to be explosive. I want him to be dynamic. But Michigan doesn't really have those guys most of the time at that quarterback spot. But when they find those good ones, they have great seasons.
Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. The Wolverines come to the line with a fresh set of downs. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Grab near the sticks. It's Mark. Touchdown, Michigan! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5? And the extra point sails through for a 28-10 lead.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hole.
And he's down at the 41. That's a first down. Use the play fake. Now to throw. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play. In the lore of the Little Brown Jug, guys, it originally was just a water jug that Michigan wanted back, and Minnesota told them, well, come win it if you want it so badly.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's not the most expensive-looking trophy out there for sure, but listen, it was important. I mean, it was helping hydrate people back in the day, David, so, you know, you get points for that.
Not expensive, but you know what? Anything that drives the hate between people and the animosity, sign me up, bro. And so we got to play for it. It means something, and people argued about it.
He's going to throw deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's fourth down. The Golden Gophers will send out the punt unit. A high kick trying to pin them deep. He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Got his man quickly. Out across the 40 and forced out of bounds at the 42. And now this offense is clicking. They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. Looking for a man. It's Underwood. Grab near the marker. It's Marsh. Down to the 26-yard line before they ride him out of bounds, and this defense is on its heels. This offense always looking for those big, explosive plays, and now they've got it just inside the 30. Unleashes one deep. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
Got his man on the outside. Touchdown, Wolverines! A great catch and run for 6.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finished the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Guys, great energy in that building and a fun first half for both Michigan and Minnesota with the Little Brown Jug on the line. And it's clear, the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first 2 quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Minnesota and Michigan plays out.
Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
The give to the tailback. Couldn't find a lane. A pickup of 1 to the 31.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those...
And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. The offense somehow fell on it, and they'll retain possession. And the Wolverines will bring the punt team onto the field. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. They'll go with a direct snap. He's stopped dead in his tracks again. No running room to be found. They keep trying and have had very little success. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Stuffed on back-to-back plays. He got nothing, and now they're looking at 3rd and long. Trying to pick up a first down. Looking downfield. It's locked. Lost one deep down the right side. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. And the Golden Gophers decide to punt it away. Trying to play a little field position with that high punt. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. Quarterback may change this route. Looking to throw on first down. Using his feet to buy time. And he's left with no option but to throw it away.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Got enough for the first. And he's brought down after a nice gain. Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. At midfield, he's got room. Just gashing this defense, a big gainer to the 40-yard line.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Gonna take a shot. Got it inside the tag. Touchdown, Michigan. All that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. Last time they had it, didn't pick up a first down. Let's see if they can put something together here. Let's go! Wide receiver going in motion. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Got it in the middle. It's Lanier. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Looking to throw, it's Locke. Throws to the wideout. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play. When you've already sent your punter out 4 times, at least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Knocked down immediately, but a big gain down to the 45. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and hundreds.
Turning it on! And the first guy couldn't get him, but the second one does, but not until he picks up the first down. The Golden Gophers have it with a 1st and 10. Wide receiver comes in motion. Looking to throw on first down. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
That's his 2nd sack of the ball game. That dude is getting after the quarterback offensively. What's my adjustment? First of all, I'm going to roll out away from him. I'm going to double team him. Let somebody else beat me, not that guy, because his speed off the edge is killing me.
All season long, we've been watching this defense dominate against the run. They're the #1 rush defense in the entire country. With a big lead in this game, you cannot run the ball and expect to win and get back in it.
Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. And the Golden Gophers will try to pin them back with the punt. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. And his first throw here is incomplete.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now has taken out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
The Wolverines with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. They'll give it to the back. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
All right, guys, that's not a home run type play, but he did enough there to keep the chains moving.
And the Wolverines are moving quickly down the field. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going.
There he goes. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays, and you better change your looks up to try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
Inside the 20-yard line, pushed out at the 18, and they're in business. Just inside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 19. Snowed under right at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Might as well stick with him. And they get him on the ground, and that'll probably do it for the 3rd quarter. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. to throw. It's Underwood. Lets it go to the end zone. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6. And on 4th down, they'll try to salvage the drive with a field goal. He splits the uprights. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, a quick update on a notable game going on right now in the ACC. Tennessee is delivering an offensive masterpiece so far. It feels like they've been singing Rocky Top all day. They're up by 35 over Kentucky. Never know what's going to happen in the ACC, and we'll circle back if anything develops you should know about.
And how about that? Ball is loose. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes.
Oh, man, how about that? You get your first carry, you're so excited, trying to make a difference, trying to make a play, trying to prove yourself, and you coughed it up. That's not a good start. First carry to fumble it, give it to the other team.
The pitch to the left. He has the first and still on his feet. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it. They've moved it to the 19, 1st and 10. Direct snap. What powerful running, just driving the pile forward for everything he could get. He'll be just a few inches short. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Give to the running back. Touchdown, Wolverines! And they add 6 more to more with that trip to the house. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win. Michigan has dominated this rivalry over the years, and they will go so close to securing the jug again.
You look at Michigan on paper, and they have an advantage all over the place against Minnesota. It was a question of whether they could just stay out of their own way. If they eliminated the mistakes, we knew this was going to be a tall order for Minnesota, and Michigan just looks dominant.
Yeah, it stinks, but it is the facts. The facts are you're less talented at Minnesota, and you've got to play really, really well, especially in these rivalry games, and hope to catch Michigan on a bad day. But that little brown jug is inching towards Michigan's sideline now.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. And his first pass is incomplete. It's tough to come in and fire one early.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback and this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able.
He lofts one down the sideline. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Golden Gophers will punt this one away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. So here comes the Michigan offense. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Wide open downfield. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but not before yet another big play in this passing attack. After that huge play right back at him on 1st and 10 from inside the 15. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And he is snuffed out, greeted by a host of defenders.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Listen, the offensive coordinator's best friend in the red zone is the running game. Make guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is good, but I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to try to be the more physical team. I love the play call. I think you keep running the football and stay physical.
Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the 1st down. The Wolverines are moving quickly down the field. And this offense hoped to just run it in, and the defense was having none of it. No gain. Ball remains at the 2.
Well, and you see the sense of urgency now going up, right, David, on defense here, creating a negative play with their backs up against the wall.
Everybody's selling out to stop the run. Nice job being aggressive by this defense.
Michigan. And they take it in for 6 more points. With that, the lead nice and comfortable, and they're cruising toward a 4-0 start.
And honestly, it's been about complementary football in this game, right? We've seen this offense go up and down the field. They've been lighting up the scoreboard, but the defense has done a great job, too, getting off the field and putting their offense in really good position in this game. The head coach has got to love what he's seen on both sides of the ball today.
Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. Last drive was a quick 3-and-out, and now time is even more of a factor to get something going. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. Let's go. Trying to move them on the counter. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen. Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. And they got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
They'll move the wide receiver. Looking downfield on first down. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
Man, I've been there before as a quarterback. Sometimes you just wish the game would already be over, right? You've had nothing go your way all game long. You're trailing late. They're still getting sacks. And you just want to go back to the locker room. You want to get in the ice tub and start healing for next week.
7th play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Rides the back on the option, the give. Oh, he's got some space. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Finds a spot in the middle. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. And the Golden Gophers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Running back searching for a hole. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. The Golden Gophers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big 3rd down stop by this defense. Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to take the 3. Dead center perfect. And they'll put 3 on the board, but the deficit remains huge.
And they cut into this lead a little bit, but, man, it's still a huge deficit. And they're going to need their defense to get a stop in this 4th quarter and get them the ball back quickly, still down by a good bit of points.
And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. This is quickly turning into a celebration, Jesse, as they've taken control of this game.
And they should feel good about how they've played. They knew they had to come in here, protect home turf. They've gone out, they've run it well, they've thrown it well, David. Really, so much that this coaching staff can be happy about.
Yeah, and now it's about stat padding, right? Like you could just put up more numbers. You know this game's pretty good. Don't turn it over, don't make a mistake. But this game is well in hand.
And the Wolverines with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Quickly out to the tight end. He stepped out of bounds right at the 45-yard line, and now they're starting to put things together.
I think you're seeing the chemistry between these 2 guys on that last play, right? Quarterback's on the move. He's got to find his big fella. He does a great job of finding...
Lets it fly. Intercepted to stop the threat. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
Reese, I know you're a little bit of a front runner, so you probably would quit. You'd probably sub yourself out and take yourself out of the game. But I like that they're continuing to fight. Keep fighting. You never know what's going to happen. Actually, you know what? I know you're not going to win, but it doesn't matter. Keep fighting to the very end.
There was just nowhere to cut back. Great job by the defense, and he'll have to take the loss. Tough way to start this drive. Now they'll try to fix it on 2nd and 15. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, back up inside their 20. Here's the pressure. On the move, he fires. And a big deflection on 3rd down forces a 4th down. And the Golden Gophers will call on their punt team. So from the shadow of his goalpost, he gets the punt away. Found a little running room on that one. Picked up some nice blocks before he's run out of bounds. Great place to start for this offense. Motion from the wideout. The pull and throw off the RPO. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. Timeout is called by the offense. They have 14 seconds left. Going to work on 2nd down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Back to throw, it's Underwood. He's got the tight end. Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a 1st and goal. And while the game is all but decided, why not try to get another one if you can? That's part of the fun, right? Looking for the goal line. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And after this play, the cake will be baked. To the air on 1st down. Here comes the heat. That pass is intercepted, but he's out of bounds, so it will go down as an incompletion and a stroke of good luck for the quarterback. This trophy has been around forever. The old